G'day everyone. So the time has come. It's the maiden voyage of the Hobie Revo 11 that I picked up probably 3 weeks, maybe even a month ago now. I haven't had a chance to get out, but today's the day. So we're going to get this on the water for the maiden voyage. See if we can get a few squid while we're at it. Looks pretty good, a little bit of wind, but it'll be a good opportunity to see how it goes. Speed, stability, comfort, agility, all the things you want to know about a Hobie. Let's go find out. Here we go, maiden voyage. Hope this isn't when I find out I've got a leak. Okay, so the trial run of the Revo 11, I'm already seeing a few issues. Not with the kayak itself, with the size of the kayak. So it's very narrow, so much smaller cockpit than the Outback that I'm used to, and I'm lowering the water, which means I'm getting a wet bum, which I've never had on a Hobie before, even my Hobie Sport, which was smaller than this. So that's the first thing, and I'm getting water over the side of the kayak too, which is okay. I mean, I don't mind getting wet, it's a water sport, but something to keep in mind. It's not going to be a rough weather boat, it's going to be a flat water boat, that's for sure. The small cockpit also means I've had to put the pedals a few settings more forward than I would in the Outback, which means I've got less travel for pedaling I should say, which means it's going to be a slightly slower ride. Not a huge problem for squidding, but again, something to bear in mind. Anyway, we are here to catch squid, so let's catch some squid. Okay, something I've noticed straight away, which nothing to do with the kayak. I usually line myself up with a weather vane on Woody's point there. The weather vane's gone. Oh, okay. Wonder why that is. Never know. Anyway, let's get a jig out. Let's get some squid on board. Let's christen this boat. Awesome, that didn't take long. We got our first customer for the new kayak. I'm very keen to get a few today. Stock up my bait supplies. Here he comes, just a little one, typical woody squid. Gotcha. All right. First catch from the new kayak. Cool, just a little one. Perfect bait size or eating if I'm going to eat it. There's something I'm noticing straight away. It's very easy to push through the water with that sharp bow. Much easier to push through the water than the old Outback. So that's a positive. It's not fast. I haven't got turbo fins on this one. It's just the standard fins. But yeah, there's really not much effort going into moving forward. And I only want to move at walking speed while I'm squidding anyway, so that's just ideal. So put one in the positive column. Okay, here's another one. Ripper. Glorious morning too. There's the colours. Sun's just about to creep up. Here he comes on the surface there. Slightly bigger than the last one. Awesome. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's a better squid. Nice one. Cool. Here's number 3. Ripper. See if we can get an underwater photo of this one. Ooh, just got him. Let's get a net behind it. Awesome. Awesome. Love it. Love squid. Love squidding so much. Great way to get bait. Good tucker. Fantastic. See if we can get some more. Turning circle's a much smaller one than the Outback. So there's a real positive for agility there. Not surprised though. It's exactly what I expected. Yeah, the old Outback at a turning circle. Not that dissimilar to my old Hilux. Took a week to turn around in a circle. And this one's pretty nimble. So something I've got to sort out is a forward mounted rod holder, because there's very minimal deck space here. It really is quite cramped, and I'm having to put my net under my legs, which isn't ideal. There's nowhere else to put it. There's no rod holder, so I can't put the rod in a holder if I need to. If I need to get a drink or whatever it might be. So definitely need a forward mounted rod holder, particularly if I'm going to be trolling in the river for tailor. Yeah, so that's definitely on the cards. I can't remember who it was, someone commented on a previous video that I can get a rod holder for the sail mount, so I'll look into that. I think that's going to be the ideal way. I don't know how keen I am to put a gear track mount on the side there, so yeah, I'll look into a rod holder in the sail mount, I think, but definitely needed because deck space here is pretty limited. Definitely at a premium. So I mentioned the stability before of this. It is less stable than the Outback, there's no question about that. It's way more tippy. If I was to reach out, a good example is when you're trying to net something, you reach out too far, you're going to overbalance and could end up in the drink. So definitely less stable than the Outback, but I'm learning pretty quickly. So the more time I'm going to spend on this, I'm just going to get used to it. I'm going to understand how to control the boat better. So definitely not going to be an open water boat. I've pretty much already figured that out. It's going to be river very flat days inshore. It has helped me make a decision though. I was uncertain whether to sell the Outback or not. Either sell the Outback or move it into the shed and do a bit of an upgrade on it. I think I've decided I'm going to keep the Outback, move it into the shed, put some money into it, make it a good boat. You know, fix the things that need fixing, in particular the Mirage drive, get a new battery for the sounder, just get it up to standard. I'm going to end up with 3 kayaks and a paddleboard, but that's fine. You got to have a few toys, don't you? All right, here we go. Here's another one. Awesome. This is why we're here. Got to find a better way to manage this net. Cool. Beauty, number 4. Another little one. Awesome. Like I said, I want to get a pile of bait, so these little ones are ideal, but I also want a good feed. Oh well, you're allowed 15 a day, so I'm sure I'll go get enough for both. Awesome. Here we are, another little guy. Here we go again. Must be a slightly heavier one, slightly bigger. Still a woody squid, so nothing to write home about, but they're certainly not the big monsters like you get over in Western Port and Victoria or Albany down south here, but yeah, still a welcome catch. Beauty. Here we go again. Hey, ripper. Getting together a good little catch now. This will be number 7, I think it is. Gotcha. Ripper. Big black booger on it. Make sure you clean your jigs. There you go, another typical woody squid. Awesome. So one thing I'm going to have to be a lot more mindful of while I'm on the water in this kayak is the conditions. As soon as it starts getting a bit choppy, a bit bumpy, we get a lot of boat traffic, which is pretty common here or somewhere like the river. I think I might move on, or if I know it's going to be choppy in advance, I'll bring another kayak. I'll bring the Wilderness Systems, or when I get the Hobie, I'm sitting on a Hobie. When I get the Outback back up to standard, I'll use that. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a flat water boat. What we're in now is fine. This is fine. Starts getting more than this, I'm going to start getting water over the side and water up through the Mirage well. So yeah, small boat, you're going to get wet, and you got to choose your conditions. Here we go. Gee, I love catching these things. So much fun. It's number 8. Beauty. Well, this is really turning into a productive morning. Great first run for the new kayak. This will be number 9. I've barely moved away from the groin, really. I haven't had to. They're all small squid. I'm certainly not setting any records here, but yeah, that's fine by me. Yeah, another small one. That'll be bait. That whole thing will be bait. Imagine sending that out off the beach. Surely something will eat it. That's number 9. So what about comfort? Well, it's small. It's a small boat. So I'm not a huge guy, but I'm not a small guy either. So I am finding it kind of cramped. But having said that, the more I'm using it, even in the first, there's a squid. Even in the first voyage this morning, I find the more I'm using it, the more I'm getting used to it. I did find it a bit cramped to get when I first got in, and I'll be honest with you, I started having a little bit of back pain. My seating position, I just wasn't used to it. I wasn't accustomed to the seating position, and I was struggling a bit. But I've been on the water for maybe an hour and a half now, and I'm fine. I'm comfortable. I'm used to it now, and it didn't take long. There we go, nice little squid. So yeah, I'm happy with the comfort of the boat, but it is cramped. So it's going to be anything I do in this, it's going to have to be very minimal gear, very lightweight, very basic. Thanks for that, by the way, squid. Very basic fishing bait, but it's fine, it's comfortable. I really am going to have to find a better way to store the net and the rod while I'm fishing though. So yeah, comfortable boat, but it's cramped. It's compact, maybe is the better word. It's compact. Yes, I guess realistically this isn't a fishing kayak. This is a recreational kayak which can be used for fishing. It's not built for fishing like the Outback is. No forward rod holders. Having rod holders behind you on a fishing kayak, it's really an afterthought. You need your rods in front of you if you're trolling, so you can see what's going on. So yeah, it's going to get the job done, but it's not a specific fishing kayak. Having said that though, I can see this being a very handy kayak for what I'm doing now. Quick little trips down to Woody's to bag a few squid. Easy, simple, light. Very importantly, it's light. It's much lighter than the Outback, and so means easy loading and unloading. And yeah, quick little jaunts down to get a few squid. This is going to be an ideal boat, but it's not a specific fishing kayak as such. It's not an Outback. Anyway, let's see if I can get a few more squid before the wind starts to kick up. Here we go. Here's a squid. There it is. I've pinned this one perfectly, right on top of the head. Yeah, I've pinned this one perfectly, right on top of the head there. Nice hook up. Let's get him in the net. Slightly better squid too, by the look of it. Gotcha. Now, just before I hooked this one, I did feel a couple of other hits. So I'm just going to put that jig straight back out. I mean, I always do that anyway. Yeah, oh, that's easily the best one of the morning. That's a good squid. Ripper. All right. That's 11. I think that's 11. Yeah, that's 11. Great first run for the new kayak. Really getting some good results. All right, another one. This is another better one too. Got behind it, blowies. Thought it might have another squid behind it there for a second. Oh, good squid. That's the squid of the day. I thought the last one was. This one definitely is. Yeah, good squid. That'll do just nicely. Here we go. This will be number 13. Lucky for some. Not lucky for me. There you go. First spray of ink on the bait. Well, it's been christened. Well done, mate. 13th squid. Had to happen at some point, didn't it? Lucky 13. Let's have a look at him. Smaller one. That's fine by me. Awesome. Got a squid here, but I think it's getting attacked by blowies. I think it got shredded. Oh no, it's just a normal little squid. I'm sure I felt blowies having a go at that. Maybe they're having a go at the jig. But anyway, that's another squid. That's 14. One more for my bag limit, which I don't normally do, but I'm actually looking for today, because I do need some bait as well as a feed. There we go. This will be number 15, so this is my bag limit, providing I get it to the boat. So it'll be stop fishing after this one. Pinned him right on top of the head, good hook up. Let's try and get a photo. Righto, there we go, there's 15 squid. That's my day done. What a great first run for the new yak. There you go, number 15. So that's a full bag limit for where I live. That's what you're allowed to take in a day, which frankly is pretty generous, really. 15 squid, that's plenty for bait, plenty for food. Ripper mortar on the water. I was probably out here for, I don't know, a couple of hours, 2.5 hours maybe. Yeah, a couple of hours I reckon. So great little run for the yak. What I might do is I might put a lure on and troll, see how it goes trolling, just until I get back to the car, which is just there. It's not very far. Anyway, let's give that a go. Okay, so trolling, that's a pretty good speed. That's a good speed actually. That's going to be really nice for Taylor in the river. So much less resistance with that sharp bow. I haven't got turbo fins, as I've already said, but it really makes little difference because of that sharp bow. That's just knifing through the water. So speed for trolling is going to be really nice. Just need a rod holder. And I'm not a huge fan of holding the rod while I'm trolling, but don't really have a choice in this boat, so that's going to be what it is. Anyway, I'm going to turn around and start heading back to the ute. Great morning on the water. Righto, There we go. Great little first run on the boat on the Revolution 11. Really happy with it. Few things I'm gonna have to get used to. It's not the Outback, so it does have a few limitations, but yeah, great first run. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll cook them squid tonight, and we'll crack a beer and have a bit of a chat about the pros and cons, because I've got a little bit to speak about, and why not do it over a beer. So see you in the shed for a beer and some crispy calamari. Well, there it is, guys. The result of a morning on the water in the new kayak. That's about half of the squid tubes that I kept. So I kept 10 for the table. I kept 5 for bait, and the heads of the 10 for bait. So yeah, pretty good morning really in the new boat. But we're here to talk about the boat, about the kayak. So I might have a few bits of squid, a couple of beers, and then we'll start talking. Feel free to crack one while you're waiting. So good. Okay, so I've got a couple of bits of squid and some beer in my guts now, so let's talk about the kayak. So first thing is speed. Because I haven't got the turbo fins, that wasn't really a fast boat, but because of this sharp bow, there's no resistance at all. It's very easy to push through the water. And at the speed I was wanting to squid at, that's not a problem. And even pushing it a bit faster for trolling for Taylor, that's going to be great. It's going to be just perfect for that application. So speed, very good, exactly what I want. Stability, not as good as the Outback. It's a little bit tippy, maybe because of my height and weight. Maybe I'm a little bit big for this kayak, but I found the longer I spent in the kayak, I was getting more used to it. I was learning how to control the boat, as I mentioned, while I was on the water. And as I get more accustomed to it, it'll be easier to control. But it's not going to be an open water boat. It's going to be river, inshore fishing on calm days. That's pretty much going to be its go. Yeah, I wouldn't risk going out offshore in this, particularly if there's wind or waves. Bit of swell running. Yeah, this isn't the boat for that. So, which has led me to the decision to keep the Outback and do a bit of work on that and get it up to speed, up to a bit better condition. I'll just point out a couple of things that happened today. The handle, I knew I was going to have to replace that, but yeah, that completely fell apart. while I was unloading and loading the boat this morning, so that's an urgent job that has to be replaced. And have a look at this. The seat tore out. The strap on the back of the seat, that completely tore out. That's very frayed, you can see it there. But that completely gave up and collapsed while I was on the water. So I'm thinking that's going to be a replacement seat, unfortunately. But I mean, it's a second-hand kayak. You're going to expect things to happen. So yeah, replacement seat needed for that one. Next one is agility and how nimble the boat was on the water. So because it's a much shorter boat and a much narrower beam, you can see it there, it really does turn very, very quickly. Tracks well for its size. I mean, it's only an 11-foot long kayak, so not the greatest tracking, and it's only got a small rudder, so not the greatest tracking, but it tracks well enough. But turning circles very sharp, much sharper than the Outback. So agility very good, but you pay that off against stability. So as I said, it's a little bit tippy. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to, especially someone of my height and weight. It's realistically, I'm probably a bit big for this kayak, but I think I'll be fine. It'll be fine on calm waters. Yeah, very agile, nimble boat. So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, what about comfort? So when I first got in it this morning, I found it very cramped, very short. So I adjusted the cranks out a little bit to adjust my length for my legs. That helped that, but I did find early on I was getting a bit of back pain, not being used to the seating position. As the morning went on, that went away as I sort of learned how to position myself and how to control the kayak a bit better. So although it is cramped, the cockpit is pretty cramped in there. As space is at a premium, and you know, it's pretty tight, but it's comfortable for what I was doing. So one rod squidding or one rod trolling, it'll be fine. I really can't take a lot of gear in this boat. Excuse the plane going overhead, that comes with living near an airport. But yeah, comfort's going to be fine, provided I don't overload the boat. And another thing on overloading the boat, I did get a wet bum, which I've never had in a Hobie before. As I said, even the Hobie Sport that I used to have, which was a shorter boat than this, didn't get a wet bum in that, but I did in this boat. So yeah, it's not going to be a boat for the middle of winter, but in summer it's fine. I don't mind getting a wet bum. It's not the end of the world. It is a water sport after all. So there's a few pros and cons. Overall, it's going to be a good boat for the purpose intended. So quick little squid trips, inshore fishing, river fishing, nothing too serious. This boat's going to be fine. But if I want to get a little bit more serious, I'm going to have to use the Outback or the Wilderness Systems paddle kayak there. These are going to be my more serious fishing boats. This one, it's going to be just that easy chuck on the ute, get down for a quick session, catch a few squid, catch a tailor, that kind of fishing boat. As I mentioned on the water, it's not a specific fishing kayak, it's a recreational kayak that you can go fishing on. It's not designed for fishing, but I can make it work. So there it is, the maiden voyage of the Revolution 11, and it was pretty successful. A few hiccups like the seat, learning how to control the boat on the water, but overall very positive and very pleased with the purchase. It's for what I intend to use it for, it's going to be a great little boat. So if you have any questions about the boat, how you might set one up, any questions at all, please feel free to hit me up in the comments, and I'll happily answer any comments I get, answer any questions I can, if I can. I'm not an expert, I'm just a guy who likes kayaks. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. It's getting a bit long-winded now, so we'll finish up. Tight lines. See you next time.